care what Larry David says. Happy New Year, boys and girls. Welcome to InGame Live. Matt Perrault, Dave Sharapan, our first show of 2024. We've been off for a while. I've been back east. Now we're back west. Here with you for 2 hours. We got a load of basketball. We got hockey going on, college hoops as well. And Dave is sporting the Buffalo Bills stuff. So all you Miami Dolphin fans, send your hate mail to him as he's obviously taking Buffalo this weekend. Dave, how are you, my friend? I talked to you a couple of hours ago, but good to be back on with you here on Friday nights.
Yeah, I had to change from the other stuff that we were wearing from BVB, but I put the Buffalo stuff on to jinx them. I want Miami to win. So I'm wearing the Buffalo stuff to jinx them. Everyone's on Buffalo. So I figured I would dress up for the show and wear the Buffalo stuff.
So you think you're a mush? Nice. Like, is that the idea? You believe in your own personal mushes?
Some days you wear the stuff to mush them. Some days you wear the stuff because that's who you like. Today, Friday, despite the fact that you missed the memo from Big Mike, MC, said no more wishing anybody Happy New Year because Larry David said you can't do it after the third. So you already got one check mark violated.
Oh, well.
Thank you very much.
It's my first time I can say it. Larry David, I preface it by saying Larry David can't say anything else. You can say it for us. We're back on every Friday night here on SportsGrid, so welcome in. Back. The chat is open, I'm assuming, right, Mr. Chat?
I would hope so. I mean, Jack's supposed to have done it, but we got Frankie at the Wheels of Steel tonight, making sure we're okay. Frankie, you better make sure that chat's open in between trying to root these Knicks home. So we'll see, because we're watching Knicks and Sixers. UConn's, it's a close game against Butler. Yeah. This has not been one of those like blowouts. I mean, the game closed 5. It's a lot tighter than people thought. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, so I'm about as warm as the North Pole. So I will tell you all the bets. You can go ahead and fade everything I say tonight because I can't get a bet right. But I am 1-0. So I started with the Boston Celtics team total over in the first half, which consistently it's maybe my favorite bet in the NBA because Boston, when the team total is really anywhere between 58 and 62 at home, they are just consistently going over. They're going to fly over this. Last time I checked, they had 64 points with 2 to play. They're doubling up the Utah Jazz. So Boston is just housing. It's 71-38 currently, and they're 30 seconds from half. So Boston's team total was 62.5. They're laying a 70 spot plus on them here in the first half. So I open up 1-0 on the day, which is good. I'm on the Sixers minus 6.5. Sorry, minus 6 here in this one. Sorry, Frankie. I know you're on the Knicks money line, so we'll see how Philly goes here. Philly's up 26-18 here, so they're already up by 8. Live total's up to 8.5 on this one. The game that I'm going to watch closely, Dave, just because it's amazing, the Hawks and the Pacers.
Yep.
The closing number was 262.
Yep.
It's currently 73-50, which the live total is under the closing number, with the halftime score, which probably would be somewhere around 75-55. And we're at 255.5. Do we go over or do we go under 262?
Pre-game, we talked about it today. I don't know, but I know it's down to 257.5 right now. Game script, I think I bet over. I don't think the Pacers slow down. I think the Hawks come back, keep shooting. When you're down 20, the only way you can get back is start chucking threes. I think it's going to go back up to the closing number, especially if the Hawks could get a couple more points here before the half. We're getting ready to go to halftime, so it's we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be probably 259.5 or 260.5 when we get to the close. So
right now, 259.5, 4 seconds before half.
Changed?
70. Okay. 261.5. They just scored for the buzzer. So we're almost back to the closing number of 261.5. 76-54. So you think the Hawks score? You're willing to bank that Atlanta doesn't throw up a white flag at some point?
Yeah, I
would be the fear.
I think so. Of course, that's the fear. But listen, did you tell me? I believe it was only a couple hours ago, and you've been telling me to remind you this for days. If you go to bet under in a Pacers game, I'm supposed to do what again? What tell the people I'm supposed to do what?
Yeah, the tweet was if I go to bet an under in a game involving the Pacers for the rest of the NBA season, you're supposed to slap me across the face hard.
Bam! Just like that.
So, just like that. Whack me hard because I should not be betting under involving, and I don't care if it's team total. I don't care if it's halftime. I don't care if it's post in, whatever. It doesn't matter. Do not bet unders with the Pacers, and I will not bet under with it. But I mean, if it goes over 262.5, if this game goes over, I mean, what do the books do? I mean, you mentioned that 260 was the highest number you had seen before. Now it's 262. Do they keep on raising it? Because the pros are going to keep on betting under. So I guess you could say keep on raising it and make the pros bet under and just keep on collecting the money.
There's a point where you can't make it much higher. I think 265 is the point. Like, this would be one of those ones where, like, say me and you are sitting next to each other in the room, and we're doing the NBA enough, and we look over, and I look over at you and go, seriously, I'm gonna make this. Like, who in the hell is going to bet us under? Like, we need somebody to bet us under. We got to find a number. I think 265 is the peak. Depending on, I mean, who would it be? Indiana, Washington? Like, that's the matchup, I think, that you got to go, okay, that's the maximum highest number we could make. I don't know who else in the league. Indiana, Boston, the way Boston scores, that's going to be high. But I don't know who
I mean,
else
Indiana, Washington would be the game that I would look at.
That has to be the highest one, right? Yeah, that has to be
because
the highest
Washington's
combo.
the worst in the league. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the other bet I got going live is I'm on the Cavaliers team total over 124.5. They just scored 36 points in the first quarter against Washington, so that's pacing.
You're on pace
the way I want.
Okay,
yeah, where I want to be pacing for that. I mean, Washington gives up 126.5 points per game, the worst defense in the NBA. So when the Pacers play the Washington Wizards, I mean, that's a white flag game for the books. Like, they just like put it at 300. I think that was the game that we saw the 285, right? Live was when those two teams played together.
No, that was we were. Well, no, I think it was actually, and there was another one
Indiana,
though, that we
right?
had 300 points scored, right? It was the Pacers.
Yeah, 309.
Right?
Yeah, if it landed 309. I think it was Pacers. So like that's the game. Like when those two teams play, I mean we're in historic territory because they don't care. Right. It's like watching an all-star game on like a video setting of easy. Like it's just score. There's no defense whatsoever being played in those games.
Defense. Yeah.
No, which is, I mean, I can't say I hate it. I don't really dislike it. It's fun to watch. I just don't know if that's really the brand of basketball the NBA wants to be playing. But so we got that. We have
minus 29.5 right now, Perrault, in game. Minus 29.5.
Yeah, you can have Utah. You're gonna have Utah if you want. Okay. You can take that. It's not enough.
You always say you want these number of points. I'm going to give you 30. It's not enough.
Sorry, nothing against Boston at home. Utah's dead ducks. Football next Friday night. Don't move. Matt and Dave here on SportsGrid.
It looked like it was going in. It hit the upright and bounced out and did not go in. There's more scoring in an MLS soccer game than there is this Cotton Bowl. The Chargers didn't know what the hell to do with Staley for years. They're a clown show in Chief. Denver's got this issue, Gabe. Like, the Chiefs must just be sitting there going, wow, what a bunch of brain trust we work with in this division.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I don't
favorite.
care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Who are you taking? Well, especially if you know that maybe Kuzma could get moved. Tyus Jones is a free agent. To me, I'm taking Detroit with Cade, with Ivy, with Doran, and then obviously Ashore Thompson, and also because of Monty Williams, I know he's a better coach than that.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Yay, congratulations, but the game was over at that point, so another one of those terrible beats. If you had 3.5, 4, even 4.5, this was a 10-point game until the final closing seconds.
InGame Live, PrimeTime. Only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Friday night in-game live. How are you? Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault with you here on Sports Grid. We're watching basketball. Knicks have a 4-point lead at the end of the first quarter against the Sixers on the road. Sixers laid 6 at the tail at the close. I think it may have gone to 5.5 at some places, but 6 was the closing number. I bet there with the Sixers. They now at home trailing the Knicks by 4. All right, let's get to tomorrow. You're a Steelers guy, Dave. Number's 3 now. Everyone is on the Ravens, and I mean everyone's on the Ravens. Everyone's saying the Steelers will win the game, but the Ravens are going to cover. They've taken 4, they've taken 3, 3.5, all the way down. They've taken it all. Total down to 34.5 for Tyler Huntley against the ones of the Steelers. Square this circle for me. The Steelers win, but they don't cover 3 points. They do this?
Have you? Yeah. Have you seen the Ravens and the Steelers rivalry for the past 20 years? It's
sure,
one of
I've
those
seen
things
it when there's the one versus the ones play, not when the AAA, quadruple A, whatever you want to call this roster for the Ravens, who they're going to play, versus the 9-win Steelers.
I see the third-string quarterback on the road for the second week in a row in a nasty weather game. Apparently it's coming. Hasn't hit yet.
Yes.
Nor'easter or whatever that is. Wintry
But doesn't that
mix.
benefit the Steelers?
Win. Why? This is
because they're going to run the ball down their throat.
Steelers haven't been able to run the ball successfully for a while. I don't know if they're going to run it down.
What do you mean?
place,
When
bro.
Mason Rudolph, they've been running the ball the last 2 weeks. Mason Rudolph
Played
has got this
Seattle.
offense clicking. Oh,
Played Seattle.
whose
Seattle's
defense
not
is better?
all-
Seattle's ones or the Ravens threes? Like, who's better?
How many guys do they got? There's only so many guys on the roster. I mean, I don't think all the backups are going to play, especially on defense. I think we get at least a first half from the Ravens defense. You know, I don't know. This is one of those things. It's hard to say. I just know when those teams need it, you end up needing to make a deposit in your account after when it's all you bet is the teams that need to win. They don't all win. They don't all cover. Very rarely anyway. So I'm leaning Ravens. Personally, I hope it goes under 36. That was the number that I saw.
Yeah.
That I thought would
That's
be
not bad.
a good number to bet under. Expect a lot of running plays for Baltimore, right? We, as a 1 seed, with the backup quarterback, keep everybody healthy, run the ball, let's go home, and then let's rest.
Right. So, and you want to back that team? Yeah, that's the team you want to back? I'm so having a hard time with this. I see everyone's on the Ravens. They're all playing this 12-0 ATS number, and they're all saying this is a black and blue division. This is Baltimore, Pittsburgh. They always play it tight. I'm like, yeah, but this is week 18 where they're the 1 seed, and they're not playing anybody, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have to win to even have a chance, and they're playing really well. I mean, Mike Tomlin has a chance to make the playoffs and end all of this heat talk about him on the hot seat. He wins 10 games and they get a couple of breaks. Miami beats Buffalo. Your Steelers are in the playoffs. Like, look at this. They're in.
I know. And then they're going to have to play. If Buffalo beats Miami, they can beat a 2 seed, right? Steelers will beat a 7, and the Steelers have to go to Buffalo, which I'm not too excited about.
Happen, though, for that? If Buffalo wins and you guys win, don't you need something else to happen for you guys to get in?
Jacksonville
has to lose. Okay.
Jacksonville got to lose to Tennessee. Yeah, which could happen.
Which is everyone's on Titans. I mean, a lot of people like the Titans.
For my taste. Yeah. Plus the points. That's another one. You know, we have a dear friend who's a Jacksonville fan. He's not excited about it. He's nervous. A lot of people are probably nervous about it. That's going to be a tough game for a road favorite to cover.
Yeah.
They may be able to win. There'll probably be opportunities there to play that thing in game on Sunday.
Would you play?
If you back me into a corner, I would only take the points with Tennessee.
Would you play a backup quarterback healthy or a starting quarterback banged up if you're Jacksonville? Like how Trevor Lawrence at 80%. Do you play him? No question asked.
Depending on the field conditions. Depending on the field conditions, because if we win a game and he gets hurt, we're toast. Like I can't have him not 100% if we win. Now I need him to win. Say, Trevor, get in there. If you can't physically perform the job, you're out, and that's fine. I mean, we got bigger, things to look ahead to. We got to win the playoff game. They're going to have the hardest matchup. Cleveland is going to the winner of that division.
Yeah.
Cleveland,
good luck.
I think is favored against all of them. They go to Houston, they go to Indy, they go to Jacksonville, Cleveland minus. That'll be the situation. So, I mean, would you play Lawrence if he's 80%?
Yes. 100%. Wow. Not even batting an eye. If he can play, he missed his first game due to injury in his career last week. Like, this is a tough guy. High school, college, pros. If he tells me he can play, I'm playing him. In a must-win situation with Christian Kirk potentially coming back, he's a game-time decision. Look, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been absolutely just a complete dumpster fire since Thanksgiving. And if I'm the Jags, I'm just trying to get into the playoffs, stop the negative talk going on around the coaching staff and around the offense and around the development of Trevor Lawrence, and just say, hey, we made the playoffs. We may have gone and gotten crushed, but we made the playoffs, and that's we won the division and we were in. The other game on Saturday has me equally as interested, and that's Houston on the road against Indianapolis, because CJ Stroud's going to be your rookie of the year. DeMeco Ryan most likely is your coach of the year. And they're in a win and in situation. They beat Indy on the road, and the Houston Texans go from a 3-win football team last year to in the playoffs. That's an incredible story. It's an incredible story. I mean, might be my favorite story of the year.
It's a great story. And great stories don't always have perfect endings. A perfect ending is, yes, they go to Indianapolis and win. But I'm telling you, when it's so overwhelmingly one-sided on a pick'em game, and we've been talking about it all week. We've been listening to people talk about it on our show. We've been communicating via socials and all this other stuff. Can't find anybody that wants the home team in a must-win playoff game. It's not, I have a strange feeling that this is going to be a Colts win.
So this is what I'm going to do because I'm dumb like this. I'm teasing the Ravens and the Colts, and I'm money lying the Steelers and the Texans.
Fair.
I'm creating a middle for myself, trying to hit all three bets. Texans win by 3. Colts cover the 7, and then we get a win for the Steelers, but the Ravens, maybe they win by 2, 1, whatever. Ravens cover. If they win by 7, Ravens cover.
Right.
And we got them on both sides.
Listen, that's silly, crazy, and that's definitely something that you would do 100%. But I think the teaser leg with the Colts is razor sharp as could possibly be. That's one of the ones that if you're going to play at one end of a teaser, one leg of a teaser, it's probably the Colts. There's a lot of people that I respect that have said just tease the Colts up. So makes a lot of sense. I don't know. Maybe you could find a different dance partner than the Ravens with all the 2s and the 3s and all that other stuff.
You don't like Ravens plus 9?
No, I do. For sure I do. Low scoring game? Absolutely. But you might get resistance from other people.
Ooh, I don't think so. Steelers win by 7. I'm good with it. More to come. In-game live on our Friday night here on SportsGrid.
It looked like it was going in. It hit the upright and bounced out and did not go in. There's more scoring in an MLS soccer game than there is this Cotton Bowl. The Chargers didn't know what the hell to do with Staley for years. They're a clown show in chief. Denver's got this issue, Gabe. Like, the Chiefs must just be sitting there going, wow, what a bunch of brain trust we work with in this division.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices. And we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
Right now, he's a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division favorite.
I don't care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Who are you taking? Well, especially if you know that maybe Kuzma could get moved. Tyus Jones is a free agent. To me, I'm taking Detroit with Cade, with Ivy, with Doran, and then obviously Ashore Thompson, and also because of Monty Williams, I know he's a better coach than that.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Yay, congratulations, but the game was over at that point, so another one of those terrible beats. If you had 3.5, 4, even 4.5, this was a 10-point game until the final closing seconds.
In-game live, PrimeTime, only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
In-game live here on SportsGrid. Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault with you here on a Friday night. Knicks, a little bit of a run here for the New York Knicks in the second quarter, up double digits, 7-10 points here going on. You'll see what the Knicks look like by half. Celtics still very heavily up on the Utah Jazz. We'll watch those games, breaking down the NFL slate. We talked about the games on Saturday with the Steelers and the Ravens tomorrow, and then the Houston Texans on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. I said this to you during the week, and I'll say it here, that I think the most interesting game of this season is the Green Bay Packers hosting the Chicago Bears. You think I'm nuts for this, but I really do believe it is, because there are so many things that are going to affect so many different teams here. Line is 3. It hasn't really moved. You're leaning Bears. You still like Chicago, even with the 2 receivers coming back for Green Bay?
Yeah, that might be the squarest dog of the week. The Bears might be the absolute wrong side squarest dog of the week. But
feels that way, yeah.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of wrong sides on here and a lot of people that, you normally would fade and all that other stuff. But, yeah, I'll stick with it. I don't feel strongly about it at all. I think the game flies over. Unless there's a monsoon or a big blizzard or something to mess up Lambeau Field. I think both teams have success offensively. I think they trade scores. I think personally I'm rooting for the Bears, which is bad. I have a soft spot for this team. I always did. And I want to see Fields finish the season off. I really do. But I don't like it. Like, really like it. Like, I would never use this in a contest. I don't even know if I would use it in a teaser because, like, the Packers could blow them out 100%. You like the Pack.
I'm not betting the game. I'm just watching this game. But if I had to back a side, then yes, I would pick Green Bay. Weather's going to be 35 and sunny. We're not going to have any problems with the weather. So I think for your scoring, if you're looking for points, the weather's not going to be any type of problem there. Green Bay, the way that Jordan Love has played in primetime, this game's not in primetime, but the way that he has played recently in primetime is pretty impressive. The defense for the Packers is definitely a concern and a question, and Justin Fields has played really, really well. I faded him last week. I thought the Falcons actually would do something, and they got their doors blown off the game. I mean, they missed 2 field goals early, and it just got away from them, and the game snowballed literally as the snow fell at Soldier Field. I'm concerned, however, just about Chicago's ability to stop Green Bay's offense. And I'm not sure they're going to be able to. And getting the wideouts back, having the deep foot available for an offense in Jordan Love that has really played well. A high-scoring game, I'm with you. I like the over 2. I think that's a good play. I just think at the end of the day, I cannot trust the Bears not to make the critical mistake that's burned them all season long.
Yep.
And Green Bay has to win to get in. So, to me, I think I'm not betting it, but I cannot wait to watch it, because if Justin Fields can win the game, he can get the bag. I mean, he's got a $300 million contract potentially sitting there waiting for him. If he wins this game and the Bears want to commit to him long term, if they don't, they very well might trade him in the offseason and take a quarterback with the first pick in the draft. And then if they're going to take a quarterback at 1, who are they taking? And what offense are they going to run? Because they're starting all over again. And I don't know if I'm a Bears fan, I don't really want that. I think I want Justin Fields to be the guy, and I want to build around him. So I want him to win this game for that reason. But, I mean, we're talking about the second pick, the third pick, the fourth pick, the fifth pick. All will change based upon what happens with this game if Green Bay decides, or if Chicago decides to take a quarterback or not. If they don't and they trade the pick, I mean, it's going to be wild. It's open season all the way to April till we get to the draft as to who is going to get taken number 1.
Right. And there's other games that will affect, the order. But like this game,
100%.
It does have an impact, right? There's
Washington,
other games
New England. I mean, the order is not going to be impacted because Chicago has the 1 sealed up. So the 1 in Chicago. It's just, what does Chicago do with it? Like the 2, 3, 4, 5 is all up in the air. Washington, New England, those teams are all going to be determined here.
Carolina,
with the last game. Yeah, with Carolina. Carolina's the 1. They've solidified that. But Chicago, where they are, so we'll see Arizona, what happens with them. But what pick goes to where, because if Chicago keeps the pick, that changes the way the draft will go. They trade the pick, that will, completely trade the way things are going to go. So I don't know. You're Chicago. You made a great move to get the first pick with Carolina. You won that trade hand over fist after what we've seen so far out of Bryce Young. I mean, really smart trade by Chicago. And now you have a chance to potentially go and look at, people say there's going to be a 4-horse race. Like, this is not going to be, open and shut Caleb Williams like we thought. And playing last year at USC did not do him the favor as people thought it was going to. Drake May's got warts. A lot of people think that Jaden Daniels is going to be the best quarterback in the draft. Some people think no. And then what do you make of Michael Penix playing in the national championship game? He's 23 years old. He's got injury concerns, but the kid's a winner. Like, no debating what the kid's done. So now, does he have a shot to potentially go number 1? Does somebody fall in love with him? I don't think so, but there could be 3 or maybe 4 quarterbacks taken, at least 4 in the first round. And when we have 4 quarterbacks with first round grades, they generally go in the first 10 picks.
Right. It's been a while since that's happened, huh? That used to happen, I feel like, frequently more, where it's 4 quarterbacks in the first 10 or 4 quarterbacks in the first 15
it happened last
picks.
year. Yeah, remember last year? It happened. That's how the run happened last year with guys who were getting picked fast. Quarterbacks to have first round grades. I mean, traditionally, we've seen quarterbacks with first round grades slip to the second round. And then, like Lamar Jackson, you remember, he was there and the Ravens traded back in to go and get him with the first round pick. And we don't see quarterbacks. We don't see quarterbacks slipping the way that they used to. It just, if you have a first round grade or even a second round grade, some team's going to come and get you because it's the most important position in so many teams. I mean, look at the quarterbacks who are playing in week 18. I mean, if I gave you a list of quarterbacks starting, Dave, could you name every team that they're starting for?
I would say no. It would be close, but I would say no, because there's a couple that I'm like, So if we listed all the quarterbacks on the left and all the teams on the right, and you draw a line, like, when you help the 4th grader with the homework, this word goes with this word goes with that. We need to put the quarterback with their team. There might be a couple of I don't know.
Who is Jeff Driscoll starting for?
Getting 7, I believe, right? The Panthers? No.
Starting for the Browns.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. 7, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, it really is.
I knew the line. I just didn't know what the team was.
You go through it.
264.5, by the way, in the Hawks and Pacers totals, up to 264.5.
Wow.
It's 105 to 69
at half.
The number's going up.
Wow. I was going to bet team total on the Pacers. I should have done that. So, I mean, I should have done that. I mean, I was going to bet Halliburton points, rebounds, and assists, but I didn't do that. I kind of backed off of that because it was pretty popular, but I figure with how many points the Pacers are going to score. What do they wind up with? Can they score 150? Easily, right? 160?
Sure, right? Yeah. Yeah, there's still 5 minutes
the most
left
points
in the third quarter. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have Frankie look it up. What's the most points scored in an NBA regulation game? Most points.
I'm going to say 100
team?
I'm going to say 185
in a regulation game.
Yeah, because if you remember, how many points did the Pacers score when it got to 309? They scored like 170 something, right? Like 160 something. So 186. I was close.
186.
I said 185.
Who scored 186 in a game? Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
Yeah, I buy that. Yeah, wow. that made sense. UConn's up by 6 with 15 seconds to play. Here comes the sweat for me. I'm on 5.5. Boy, oh boy, oh boy! Free throw made. Here comes a massive sweat on the end of this game coming up with UConn 87-81. The over did hit in this game, by the way. Butler scoring 81 is impressive. 88-81. I've got 7. I can survive a 2-point. Nope, I can't. I can survive nothing.
No, you can't.
You can't. Butler can't
you
score
need no
anything.
more baskets. Just end the game. End the game.
And then
just
Butler,
like
of
this.
course. This is what I love about college basketball. This is what I love. It's 88-81 right now, right? There's 13 seconds left.
All right, dribble out.
Butler took a timeout.
No.
They're drawing up a play. They're drawing up a play.
Are they really?
Like, it's when you gamble as much as we do, it's just funny because the average person wouldn't see this and go, "That's kind of weird. Why just dribble it out? Like,
just dribble out.
Game's over. Just dribble it out. You lost. Game's over. You aren't going to come back.
Right.
You're down by 7 with 13 seconds to go. Game's over. You call timeout to draw up a play. Well, why are you drawing up a play? Oh, the line was 5.5. Oh, the alumni knows this. The alumni knows it's 5.5. So the coach is going to go ahead and draw up a play here because the coach understands.
I'm working on the inbound play.
We're working on
the inbound.
Yeah.
You're
got to work on an inbound play. Just
the two picks in the corner.
Because you know what's going to happen? They're going to foul. They're going to miss. Rebound UConn, they're going to foul because that's what they always do. They're going to foul. So that's my only hope here with that. So we'll update you on UConn Butler, the 5.5 I laid next year on InGame Live.
It looked like it was going in. It hit the upright and bounced out and did not go in. There's more scoring in an MLS soccer game than there is this Cotton Bowl. The Chargers didn't know what the hell to do with Staley for years. They're a clown show in chief. Denver's got this issue, Gabe. Like, the Chiefs must just be sitting there going, wow, what a bunch of brain trust we work with in this division.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now, he's a little bit more over money, but he's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I
favorite.
don't care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Who are you taking? Well, especially if you know that maybe Kuzma could get moved. Tyus Jones is a free agent. To me, I'm taking Detroit with Cade, with Ivy, with Doran, and then obviously Ashore Thompson, and also because of Monty Williams, I know he's a better coach than that.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Yay, congratulations, but the game was over at that point, so another one of those terrible beats. If you had 3.5, 4, even 4.5, this was a 10-point game until the final closing seconds.
InGame Live, PrimeTime, only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
In-game live here on a Friday night. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault. There is a hockey game going on here, Dave, tonight, and it's not going the way that I wanted it to go by any means. I'm on the over for Chicago and New Jersey. Jersey, the number one over team in hockey, and of course it's 1-1 mid-second, so it's just the way that hockey has been going these days. It's been a very strange post-Christmas run in the NHL. All sorts of crazy games. Last night, the Bruins and the Penguins dead under, right? 5.5. It's just absolute. Game scored 6 goals in the first period. The game was ridiculous last night. Fun
to watch.
Swayman, fun, but Swayman for the Bruins has a 1.87 goals against average at home, and he gets smoked for 3 goals in the first period. Gives up 6 goals in the game. They lose 6-5.
They
What
left
a crazy
them in.
game.
That was the fun part for me. They left both goalies in after that crazy
you
first
guys were having
period.
backups. Bruins left their starter in because they knew they'd come back, and they did. And then you guys got a ridiculous joke power play that never should have been a power play, and you scored. And Crosby scores on a no, it was not. And then Crosby scores on the most ridiculous deflection, like an air hockey goal, deflected off a guy's inner thigh. In
36 years old, he's still doing it. Sidney Crosby. The Penguins have the most points in hockey since December 12th. Playing good,
and they're still not in.
Good
they're still not in the playoffs.
Well, they had a really bad start. Listen,
it's great.
Come
they're
on.
hot. They're still not.
I got to listen to it all day. You got the Bruins, you got the Celtics, I got the Steelers, and I got the Penguins. Please, not now. Let me enjoy it a little bit, please.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening.
Come on.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's going to be, I think, the second half of hockey is going to be a lot of fun to watch because there's a lot of teams that are sort of in that Penguins mold that can score a lot. They give up a lot of goals. They score a lot. The Devils are in that kind of mold. You know, now the Hurricanes are in that kind of mold. Like no one in hockey is playing defense. Like everybody just is scoring at a really high clip. It makes it for fun nights and fun watches on TV. But how good are those teams when it comes to the playoffs when you got to play 2-1 and 3-2 hockey games? So,
well, that's the difference, right? You run into that every year where the regular season product is different than the postseason product. And we have to change our thinking a lot of times when we get to the playoffs because that team isn't built to do that. Obviously, you've besmirched the shootout in the NHL for a long time now. And I can't say you're wrong because it's settling a game on a shootout is kind of a novelty item. I will admit it's not the right way to do it, but it's the best way to do it during the regular season. I don't know.
No, it's not. Okay.
Unless we go back to the ties. You want ties again?
No. I want to drop a skater down every 5 minutes. I've told you this before.
So you wanted to get to 3-on-3 quickly?
No, I want to get to 1-on-1. I think it'd be awesome. Do mini 1-on-1 like it used to be when I was a kid.
Oh,
it would be awesome.
Frankie, are you listening to this? I mean, this guy
every
wants to play
10 minutes,
1-on-1.
You just drop. You start 4-on-4. You go to 3-on-3. You go 2-on-2. You go 1-on-1, and you play until somebody scores. Somebody would score 1-on-1 fast. Be awesome. Well, how much fun that would be to watch.
How do you do a line change 1-on-1?
You don't. You jump over. You have a breakaway. If you do a line change, it's a breakaway. That's when the games would end fast.
Well, I would get the puck, and then I would just get to the red line and dump it in and then sprint to the bench to get the other guy on. How the hell would you do a line change if you do in-game? Like, there ain't going to be no whistles if you're playing 1-on-1 unless the goalie dives on a puck and holds it.
Yeah.
You know?
Correct. You get goalies shooting the puck, goalies firing on each other. Jeremy Swayman would be dangerous. It'd be awesome. I don't think shootouts.
This is one of the crazier ideas that you've actually said out loud on shows.
It's not crazy. Yeah, it's not crazy. It's
one-on-one.
Shootouts are crazy. Playing shootouts. Explain the difference between 1-on-1 hockey and a shootout. What's the difference?
Because
they're both stupid.
The structure, at least, is like we get the puck at center ice and we skate in 1-on-1 on the goalie. On a shootout,
moving forward, I can't stop. There's no defense. There's no one play. At least 1-on-1, I'm playing defense. I got somebody to play defense in front of my guy. It's not just goalie hanging out there in the breeze. Got to stop a streaking guy.
How many times? Like I'm trying to think. Even if I was doing it, like I think I'd go up and down the ice once, chasing a guy, and then getting the puck, and then trying to score, and him hitting me. I'd have to do a line change. It would be fast. Line changes would happen. You 30 seconds, jump over to bed.
Game would be
30
over.
seconds,
It would
jump over
rarely
to-
ever get there. It would rarely, because 2-on-2, you're going to score. 2-on-2
Right.
is going to lead to tons of scoring. It's going to be over fast. 3-on-3 is normally, I mean, look at the overtime periods now. There's a lot of goals that get scored in the first minute of overtime with 3-on-3.
Yes.
So if you don't like that, just keep on playing 3-on-3 until somebody scores. And I don't care if we play till next week. Just keep playing. Just play hockey. Just play hockey. It's hockey. But I mean, the Ghost Runner is the dumbest rule in sports. The second dumbest rule in sports is the shootout. But I would be okay with the Ghost Runner after we have 9 outs, after everybody in the lineup has a chance to bat, and then go to the Ghost Runner. Then you could end it. I don't like the fact that we go right in the 10th inning. We go right to it. I don't like that. I would do it in the 13th inning, not in the 10th. But hockey, same way. We drop down to 3, and we play 1 period, and then we say, okay, now shoot out. Like, wait, why? Like, just play it out more. Like, let's see what happens. Like, let's keep going. Let's not have to go this artificial route. Let's do it for real. It's fake sports. I can't stand that. Manufactured offense. I can't stand. It just drives me absolutely bonkers. But I need some offense right now in this New Jersey game. It's 2-1. Chicago just scored. I'm not dead for the over. I get a 3-3 here in the third period. I might be okay. So I need a big third period. And the Devils have been known to have big third periods. So let's hope and see if we get another big third period out of the Devils here who are at home.
I'll venture to say when we have Cam join us next hour, he'll have bet the Devils in game. I will say that right now. He will have bet the Devils in game. If he's watching hockey or anything, he's on them because he's been one of the guys that's been talking about it nonstop about how when they're down, especially when they're down 2 goals and you're taking like plus $4, when they close the game as a big favorite, they've been coming back and scoring quickly back to back. So when they're down 2 or down 1, you got to bet it because they score frequently, quickly together. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, 2-1 end of 2.
The Celtics score? Have you
seen the Celtics score? The Celtics score. I told you it wasn't enough. It's 108-70 going towards the end of the third quarter. Now, I mean, Boston's up by 38 points. I told you it wasn't enough. 117-183. And by the way, my Cleveland bet, my gosh, the second quarter was disastrous for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Whew. They scored 36 in the first quarter and 16 in the second.
Whoa.
What happened to Cleveland? My gosh.
I think game
what a weird second quarter.
Wow.
That is a bizarre side there. That was weird. And still a 12-point lead. I mean, they can still get there, but it's still one of those weird. You over-delivered in the first quarter, and then you massively under-delivered in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the third quarter looks like. But if you have another 30-point third quarter for Cleveland, we kind of be back on probably a 35-point quarter to get it close to 90 as we head towards the fourth quarter to get to 124.5. But that's a lot of people were on the under in that game, and I understood why, just because of Washington's inability to play defense. But that was a really weird. That's a strange second quarter for both teams. They scored 14. Washington scored 14 points themselves, 30 points combined in the quarter. Whew. Sixers down 20 at the break to the Knicks, 75-55. We'll see. That game's not over. That game is not over.
Whoa.
That game is not over.
They're 10.5 dogs. You want Sixers plus 10.5? You could take the Sixers. What does that say? 5-1 on the money line, plus 500. It's not over. It's not over.
I don't know. That game ain't over.
10.5.
What's weird?
I'm playing plus 10.5 right now, just for principle.
Sixers. I mean, what's weird is that you have 16 points in 4 boards out of Embiid, 20 points out of Maxey, and that's it. They have no help whatsoever. Brunson went for 21 in the first half. DiVincenzo went for 11, 9 for Hartston played really pretty well for them. 7 Randall for 6, 12 for McBride off the bench. There's your key. McBride is 4 for 4 from behind the 3-point line. Holy mother! The Knicks shot 13 of 21 from 3. That's why the Knicks. That's why the Sixers are not in the game because that's not happening again.
That's not continuing. Sorry, Frankie. Don't cut the mics, but that's
for
not happening.
21. 13 for 21 in the first half. They shot 21 threes, the Knicks did, and hit 13 of them. Holy, Brunson hit 4. McBride hit 4. Boy, and Philly went 4 of 12 from behind the three-point line. There's your difference. Holy crap. That's amazing.
All right, we're in. 11.5. I'm in.
Yeah.
That's something to root
I like
for.
it.
I'm not rooting against you,
Yeah.
Frankie. I'm just taking value where I see value. That's good bet. Plus 11
I like that. I like that a lot. We'll see here 120-89 for Indiana. 120 Indiana. Holy wow. 10 to play in the fourth quarter.
Right now, it's 264.5 overnight. Close 262. It's sitting on 264.5 right now, Perrault. Fourth quarter
right there.
just underway. Right there. And it's a blowout. Which
right. That's the worry.
That's it. I mean, at what point do the Pacers go, we're good? Everybody empty the bench, but that's okay. Like, that's the way the backups play too, right? I don't think you're out of the I think you got to go over. If you're sitting right around this number, if you get 260.5, 261 over, I mean, you may have reached a peak at what, 267.5? It's going to fall right in there. I mean, how many more points can they score?
Right.
It's like the Seattle Arizona football game this weekend. That is looks
Purdue,
like to me one of the easiest totals of the weekend. Seattle and Arizona.
Who? Over.
Seahawks, Cardinals in the desert.
Over. 40. What's the number? 44?
47.5.
Oh, wow. It's juiced up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Cardinals
Gino's
score,
got
a
ton of incentives that are key to it. The Cardinals are playing as good as anybody the last couple of weeks offensively. You know, I don't think they'll provide much resistance. Seattle's playing for their playoff life. Back and forth type game. That one feels like one that we'll be laughing about. We'll go, oh, there's 50 points scored, and we got almost the whole fourth quarter to go. I think there's a lot of points in that football game.
So I got the UConn minus 5.5 against Butler. I laid the 9.5 with Purdue. They're up 11-2 to start the game against Illinois. So there's a quick strike, fast start for Purdue. I don't think Illinois is going to be able to hang.
Are you ready to
when
say
they hit
this?
their threes, they are. When they hit their threes, they are. I mean, they don't have. No one has an answer for Zach Edey. He's just an absolute matchup nightmare for anyone in college basketball.
17.5. It's 17.5 in that game already.
Well, fast start. Purdue's known for blowing teams out when they hit shots early. It's night. They're at home. Number one team in the country. Number closed at 11.5. I laid 9.5. So we'll watch that game as well as get to the rest of the NFL football games. More to come. Friday night, in-game live. Matt and Dave here on SportsGrid.
It looked like it was going in. It hit the upright and bounced out and did not go in. There's more scoring in an MLS soccer game than there is this Cotton Bowl. The Chargers didn't know what the hell to do with Staley for years. They're a clown show in chief. Denver's got this issue, Gabe. Like, the Chiefs must just be sitting there going, wow, what a bunch of brain trust we work with in this division.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices. And we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I
favorite.
don't care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Who are you taking? Well, especially if you know that maybe Kuzma could get moved. Tyus Jones is a free agent. To me, I'm taking Detroit with Cade, with Ivy, with Doran, and then obviously Ashore Thompson, and also because of Monty Williams, I know he's a better coach than that.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know, they're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Yay, congratulations, but the game was over at that point, so another one of those terrible beats. If you had 3.5, 4, even 4.5, this was a 10-point game until the final closing seconds.
InGame Live, PrimeTime. Only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
In-game live on a Friday night here on SportsGrid. Matt Perrault and Dave Sharapan with you guys here. 14-4 the lead for Purdue as they come out of the gates hot. And they get themselves, well, a couple of 3-point buckets already. Zach Edey's got 2 points, but the 2 threes already for Purdue. Really bad news for Illinois. They opened the game 2 for 11 shooting here. Just 4 points in the first 5 minutes. And that could lead to a really rough run of it here for the Illini on the road. They are 2-0 in the Big Ten, but Purdue 13-1 in the year, 12-1 here so far. 2-1 rather, in the Big Ten Conference so far for them. We're watching a blowout between the Knicks and the Sixers. It's 75-55 for the Knicks, up by 20 at the break. Celtics are up 107-75 on the Utah Jazz. Indiana 126-92. 62-44, a quick start to the third quarter for Washington for the Cavs versus Washington, but not a lot going on with that one. Dave, there's a game tonight, late night. What do you make of no KD for the Suns?
Okay.
Miami in town for Phoenix. Can you back Miami on the road in the desert?
Can you back Phoenix without KD? That's
numbers 4. Numbers 4.
It's down to 2. It's down to 2 here in Vegas. We got 2s and 2.5s here. And now the market's all 2.5, actually. Just hit refresh. Yeah. No. I don't. I mean, I'd rather back the Heat. And I don't know if Jimmy Buckets is playing. I would assume he is.
He's got to be,
yeah. Right? I would rather have the Heat in that situation. That'll be an in-game back and forth, probably, right?
Yeah, they think
both teams will have leads of 8 at one point.
Butler is out. Okay, so even without Butler, that's crazy. They're favored by that even without Butler. No, I mean that's a big line through it game for me. Want no part of the Suns. 18-16 Phoenix. Hour 2, a bye and then a high. Quick one. Don't move. More to come here on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Hour 2 in-game live primetime. Matt Perrault, Dave Sharapan with you guys here on SportsGrid. We'll be joined coming up here in about 40 minutes with Cam. He'll come on and give us his picks and plays for the thoughts on, well, even Monday night. We can ask him Monday night as well on the national championship game here for that. But got a lot of football, in-game basketball with the NBA going on. Knicks up big at the break against the 76ers. We're watching the 262 closing number for the Pacers and the Hawks. That game might actually go over. Hockey going on with the Devils down 2-1 to the Blackhawks in the NHL. So a lot of things to get into here on this. Dave, let me ask you for Monday, because I won't be on the air. You may be on the air on Monday. I won't be for the championship game. What does the number close at for Michigan and Washington? Do we see late money come in on either side?
I think we're sitting at it. I think if it goes, if the money comes on Michigan, it'll slide up to 5, and then bam, they'll take it. I don't think it blows through 5. And if the Washington money comes, it goes to 4 and sits. But they already played it from 3 to 3.5. Anyone that had it's gone. So you don't have to go down anymore. You know, you're already there. So close 4, 4.5. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a good game. I really do. I think it's going to be, I hope it's an entertaining game. You have talked about it extensively this week. You think this has blowout potential?
I can't shake it. And look, I've been absolutely way wrong for a couple of weeks now. So if you're a Washington fan, you should be happy about the way I feel about this game. But I bet Michigan during the summer because they have the best offensive and defensive lines in the country. Now, they lost their best offensive lineman in the Ohio State game, but the guy who came in right behind him is still an unbelievable lineman, and they haven't missed a beat. I just can't shake the fact that Washington's not going to be able to stop the run, even though they've done a really good job this year of stopping the run. Right. I don't think they're going to be able to stop Michigan running the football. And I just think that's the difference in the game, is that it's not going to be on J.J. McCarthy's shoulders. It's going to be on Blake Corum to run the ball, to pick up big yardage, and then make Washington adjust. And then that's when the big play happens for Michigan. That's when they get the opportunity. And look, Michael Penix is a tremendous talent, but he has to have time. And if he doesn't have time, I don't care what those receivers are going to do to the secondary to Michigan. He'll be on his back. Yeah. So the pass rush for Michigan, I think, is a huge weapon.
It is. And I'm okay with Washington's ability to trade scores. I don't know if I'm 100%. Okay with Washington's ability to come back down 2-3 scores in the second half, because Michigan is going to clock up. They're going to run the ball. They're going to limit the possessions, and that's going to be a major problem for Washington. So I see everything you're saying. I think just with the last game, I want the last game to be good. Last year's last game was over so quickly, and it was just an ugly blowout. I don't want to see anything like that again. I want to see a good game. I want to see it be competitive. And I don't know. Do you think it could fall in a point spread, or is it like Michigan wins, they win by double digits, or Washington just wins?
No, I think 3 is really likely. I mean, I think 3 is a really big possibility. And I'll tell you, look, if this game, the total 56.5, if we're flying over, I'm going to be really concerned about Michigan. Like, I don't think Michigan wants to be in a shootout with Washington. I think there's just too many. They're not explosive enough. They need to play games like we saw with Ohio State and Michigan. Like, they want a 20-13 type football game. They don't want what we saw in the semifinal for Washington and Texas. So,
all right, there we go. We're back. He's frozen. We're good. Everything he's saying sounds good, looks good. Makes perfect sense. We'll see what happens on Monday night. I think we'll big coverage here on SportsGrid. A lot of people are talking about it. There's no other game on Monday, football wise. So it has center stage, and it's in a pro stadium in a city with a college team. But like this will be interesting to see because I don't know if the committee would hoping that Texas was in it. Like it would have been a monster game and monster for all the right. They're not there. So we talked about it. The ticket prices have come down, but I don't know.
There's going to be a lot of Michigan people in that building. There are going to be a lot of Michigan people in that building. Yeah. Just straight shot right down. You can drive it. You can fly it, but you can drive it. It's not horrific to get there
from Michigan to Houston in January.
Yeah. No sort. No. Yeah. Not hard.
That's too
not
far.
Hard.
Get on a plane.
You can fly. It's better to fly, obviously, but you can do it. I mean, I know a lot of people who will do it, who will drive from Michigan or just living in the Midwest or living in the South and just driving. A lot of Michigan people are going to make the trek over, and Washington people will as well. But people don't realize how far Seattle, Washington is. Like Seattle, Washington is far from Houston. That's a hike. That's a 3-day drive. Like you can't really drive from Seattle. So I think there'll be more Michigan people in there than Washington. There'll be a lot of Washington purple, though. And look, I don't want to rain on the parade of Washington. I love the story. I mean, I think it's been incredible. The receivers are awesome. The timing is unbelievable. They play a pro style, but that kind of factors into the defensive game plan for Harbaugh and what they've been able to do. I mean, again, they're just really good at the point of attack, and that's where football games get determined so often. And I'm going to back Michigan for the same way. And if Washington gets down and they turn the football over, that's my concern. Interceptions and fumbles for Washington, and that Michigan just gets going downhill and they grind and they run the ball and they play ball control and they go up 14-0 and 17-3. And then every down is passing. And when you're predictable in football, that plays right into the hands of a pass rush who pins their ears back and goes after Michael Penix. Like that's my game plan. Yeah.
How many hour drive do you think it is from Michigan to Houston?
18 hours.
Take a guess.
18 hours.
Oh, he sent you the same text. I got the same text. I was trying to
what text?
Quiz you.
I have no text. Zero. No text. None.
Well,
I lived
18
there.
Hours.
I lived there.
Chris.
You forget that.
You lived
I lived
in Houston?
there. Yes.
You
lived
drove
in
to Michigan? How did you know that?
No, but I lived in Alabama, and I know how many hours it takes to drive to Tuscaloosa. So I just went ahead and said the same, because everybody from Michigan drives to Tuscaloosa to watch the big race, the NASCAR race in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So,
okay.
I mean, you see it. Ohio and Michigan plates like crazy, comes straight down the highway. So, same distance, basically. More to come. In-game live on a Friday.
It looked like it was going in. It hit the upright and bounced out and did not go in. There's more scoring in an MLS soccer game than there is this Cotton Bowl. The Chargers didn't know what the hell to do with Staley for years. They're a clown show in chief. Denver's got this issue, Gabe. Like, the Chiefs must just be sitting there going, wow, what a bunch of brain trust we work with in this division.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I
favorite.
don't care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Who are you taking? Well, especially if you know that maybe Kuzma could get moved. Tyus Jones is a free agent. To me, I'm taking Detroit with Cade, with Ivy, with Doran, and then obviously Ashore Thompson. And also because of Monty Williams, I know he's a better coach than that.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Yay, congratulations, but the game was over at that point, so another one of those terrible beats. If you had 3.5, 4, even 4.5, this was a 10-point game until the final closing seconds.
InGame Live, PrimeTime. Only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
In-game live on a Friday night. We're watching hockey, basketball, college basketball as well, with Purdue in action up against Illinois. It's 2-1. Chicago still leading New Jersey. That game closed at 6.5. Number one team to the over this year. Chicago, I mean, it's crazy. This is just kind of the way hockey betting goes, Dave, because it's so they started Soderblom in net, who has a goals against average of over 4, and a guy who has given up in some games this season, recently, 6 and 7 goals. He gave up 6 goals on the road to St. Louis, 7 goals on the road to Seattle. 1 goal so far given up here tonight.
Sometimes it doesn't make any sense. That's why they play the games. That just doesn't make any sense. And when you're running the way you're running, sometimes you got the right side, you handicap the game right, and then it goes way under or way over, when you're on the opposite. So, wow.
If I can get, it's just, I need Purdue to come in here. If Purdue comes in and they cover, I'll be looking at like a 3-3 day, which is fine. I mean, again, you can't bet the Pacers under. Did they get there at 262.5?
Yeah.
They got there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's
up looking at it right now. I think
they're at 153 with 2:38 to play. They haven't gotten there yet.
I got the in-game 150, right?
266
to 116, 266.
Yeah, they got there. 20 seconds to go. They got there in the over. So I bet the over 262.5 last night. So I bet a bad number. And I was like, I bet a bad number on this. And so, it is what it is. So we'll see what
UConn guys watching the show. We may have to give somebody the assignment of the total in the
how many times it goes over?
Games. Well, how many times it goes over, but how many times is it over 250? Like, I mean, I don't know who they're playing against where the total's under 250. There's going to be 248s. There's going to be 246s, and I don't know why. I think anytime they got a team that's even close to either want to run in with them or, want to shoot threes with them, it's an overplay. I just don't know. I mean, from an odds-making standpoint, I honestly don't know what to make the next time they play a team like this, or the next time they play Atlanta, or the next time they play Washington. Just throw up 267. Just let them bet it under. That's fine.
They did. They bet under tonight, and they lost.
Right.
So, So I'm on 9.5 with Purdue and Illinois. They're laying. They're up by 10 at the moment in the first quarter. In the first half, 8.5 to play in the first half. There at Purdue. So I got the Celtics team total over. UConn covered. Purdue looking to cover over in the Pacers. So there's good. Philadelphia laid 6. No good. That would be a stunner to come back and cover that. I was on Embiid's over for his rebounds, and that's not looking good either at the moment because, well, the chance of him getting yanked out of this game is quite high. It's 88-71 with 5.5 to play in the third. That's not great. You're going to most likely, I mean, they probably won't play him in the fourth quarter. They might, but I mean, he's got 6 boards at the moment. I'm on over 11.5, so I'm going to need Embiid to get really going here. He's got 25 points though. He leads the Sixers, so if they're going to come back, it's going to be on the back of Joel Embiid. But down 20 at the break, and you've cut into it by 3 points. So not exactly a big comeback underway currently for the Philadelphia 76ers, who were 13-4 at home, by the way, until I get involved. They were 13-4 at home and 13-4 against the number as well here on this one. But this is just kind of the way that I'm the kiss of death at the moment for some of these bets that I've been making.
We can have a closer in the third quarter. Relax. It's fine. It's just get it within 10. Get it within 10. Close this thing to be 10-8 or whatever, and then take our chances. They got to close the gap here. They got to get going. This is the back end of the third quarter is important. So we're watching it. Get back to the NFL.
Okay, let's talk.
What do you got?
Well, why do you think Miami's going to win? You're wearing Buffalo stuff for the jinx.
I think more I'm hoping they win. Everything against them, injury-wise. Everything. I mean, you don't go to Baltimore with the game before the biggest game and get blown out, do you? Like, everything points to, like, if this wasn't for the division and this wasn't the last game of the season, this is an auto play on Miami because you grabbed a team at home that just got blown out. They're a home dog, blah, 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 blah. Everything we normally talk about and look to play on a team, this situation is it, except for it's Buffalo and it's for the division. So it's heightened and everything else. I'm just trying to keep it. Now, when you get to the playoffs, it's a little bit different, but you always have to keep the process the same if the process has been working. And like in the book, we talk about it all the time. Can't let the results get in the way of the process if the process is pretty good. So, yeah, Baltimore won, blew them out. The line was 3. That wasn't a very good number. It's just, okay, it turns out it wasn't. But I have to trust the number. I think it's closer than people think. And I think after losing at Buffalo the way they did, these division things, it's hard to sweep. Now, Buffalo does own them a little bit head-to-head and all that other stuff.
A little.
Okay, a lot. All right.
10-2 is not a little. That's a lot.
It's fine.
Josh Allen plays his best football against the Dolphins.
At home and on the road.
Actually, he plays better in Miami than he does in Buffalo.
I know. Sometimes it just doesn't, It should be one of those ones that be an 80%er. 80% of the bets, 80% of the money is on Buffalo, if not more. The hand on this game is going to be great. Everything's going to roll into this. Buffalo season win total can't even be graded until this game's going because it's going to fall either 10 or 11. And their season win total was 10.5. It's great. I mean, the division bets are open for this. You got division bet action open until the last game kicks. It's awesome.
Yeah, we talked about this. If you like Buffalo, isn't the better play just to bet Buffalo to win the AFC?
The whole AFC or just the AFC East?
Yeah. No, win the AFC. Win the conference. Maybe not the championship, but win the conference. Because they'll win the AFC East. They'll be the 2 seed. They'll have a home playoff game.
Right. Yep.
They're going to go ahead. They're going to welcome in a wild card team, which most likely is going to be could be Pittsburgh. Going to beat the Steelers. Then have to figure out most likely.
So confidently, you didn't have to just say it so confidently. Like
You're picking Baltimore to win tomorrow. You don't even trust your ones against threes. You're telling me they're going to go to Buffalo and win? No. So then you've got a divisional round game, which will be tough, but they'll be at home for it. And then they'll go on the road to Baltimore, most likely, to play, and it's Bills, Ravens. And you just bet Baltimore then.
Sounds like a fun ride for 3 weeks right there, if that's the case. That's going to be a fun ride for anyone back.
That's the bet. That's the play. I would bet Buffalo to win the AFC, which I'm not sure.
I have to check and see what those odds are. I don't know, maybe can we roll this thing over? Can we roll it over and get better odds?
You want to roll it over every week? No, because they're going to be big favorites at home in the playoffs.
In the first week, I mean, like, what are they against Pittsburgh?
So Baltimore is plus 430 to win the AFC at the moment. They're not going to be plus 430 in the AFC Championship game.
Plus 430 to win the AFC, that can't be right. That has to be to win the Super Bowl.
No, Baltimore, AFC Championship winner. Baltimore plus 135, KC plus 430, Buffalo plus 430.
Okay. Fair. Okay, you said Baltimore. All right, Buffalo.
Oh, sorry, Buffalo. Excuse me, Buffalo plus 430.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
More about that. Bet on the other side. Don't move. In-game live on a Friday here on SportsGrid.
It looked like it was going in. It hit the upright and bounced out and did not go in. There's more scoring in an MLS soccer game than there is this Cotton Bowl. The Chargers didn't know what the hell to do with Staley for years. They're a clown show in chief. Denver's got this issue, Gabe. Like, the Chiefs must just be sitting there going, wow, what a bunch of brain trust we work with in this division.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now, he's a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division favorite.
I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Who are you taking? Well, especially if you know that maybe Kuzma could get moved. Tyus Jones is a free agent. To me, I'm taking Detroit with Cade, with Ivy, with Doran, and then obviously Ashore Thompson, and also because of Monty Williams, I know he's a better coach than that.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Yay, congratulations, but the game was over at that point, so another one of those terrible beats. If you had 3.5, 4, even 4.5, this was a 10-point game until the final closing seconds.
In-game live, PrimeTime, only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. Harder to be on SportsGrid.
Could the New York Knicks blow a 20-point halftime lead? Uh-oh. Here comes the Sixers. Dave took plus 10.5 in game. And here we are sitting here with a very interesting game between these two teams where it's now 88-74 with 3:28 to play in the third quarter. You said get it to 10 by the fourth quarter, Dave. 8.5. That's the live number now. So the books tend to be agreeing with you here on this one. Nick's going to blow this?
Let's focus on one thing at a time. I just get it inside of 10, going into the fourth at home, and then I will answer your question. If we can get there, yes, they can blow it. Absolutely. And I'm not rooting against Frankie, but he's watching this game intently, and he's hoping they just cover the 6.5. That's at least what he's hoping from pregame. And
now the benefit
needs him to
is
win.
it's down to 12 now. The benefit to me is that I have over 11.5 rebounds for Embiid. He has 8. So I need 4 more boards for Embiid, but I have the whole fourth quarter. If the game gets tight, Embiid's going to be there more consistently, crashing the boards harder, helping the team. So it feels him having 8 going into the fourth quarter. If I can get one more in the third, it would be phenomenal. If I can have 9 going into the fourth quarter, that would be tremendous.
Perfect.
For that. So Derek White's, I don't know how Derek White didn't have 5.5 assists. That was kind of a weird. Boston annihilated Utah. And normally when Boston scores a lot, Derek White is the guy. He's the point guard. So he distributes. He had 3 assists tonight. I don't understand how that happened with Boston. That was a lot of hero ball. I guess,
love
for the
when you make that face. I love when you do that. You go, they scored this, and I don't know how. Like and I've seen that for 20 years in the book where, the guy's going, that doesn't even add up. Like if you score 120 points, 9 times out of 10, he's going to have that assist.
He's the point guard.
Tonight,
he's the guy. He's the guy who dribbles the ball, passes the ball up the court. I mean, he averages about 6.5 a game. And I mean, like, what are we doing? Like, this is ridiculous. Like Derek White is a distributor of the basketball most often. Derek White winds up with 3 assists tonight. So not tonight. He was not a distributor of the basketball tonight for the Boston Celtics, who absolutely destroyed the Utah Jazz 126-97. What did you offer me? You offered me 29.5. Did you not?
I did.
It would have covered. I said, no, it fell 29. So halftime number was pretty good. Hell of a halftime number.
That was an in-game. I was doing the in-game number. Bam!
That's a hell of a close there by the bookmakers themselves. Good job out of that. 29.5 halftime number. It falls 29. Man, I would have been pissed off if I had lost that. Woo, baby. I would have been mad if I had laid that with Boston. Ooh, I would have been ferociously angry at that if I had lost that.
Look at the remaining NBA, because we're gonna do football with Cam. We'll get the NFL picks. So there's 3 night games coming up at 7:00.
Let's focus on Memphis and the Lakers here, because it's boring. That game's boring. The Memphis Lakers game is the interesting game. That's the game. Number's 4.5. So the Lakers be favored against anybody, given the way they're playing right now.
Now, listen, that's an overreaction. You can't ask that question. They have to be favored at home. They're the Lakers, and they're the brand. Yes, it's the Lakers.
It's 3-2. 3-2. I need one more goal. I need to tie 3-2 Devils now. Yep.
Okay. We'll get the empty netter. Get another one. Devils, go. Get some breathing. That's good.
Devils scored. So we're at 3-2 here with 9 to play in the game. So I need Chicago to tie it up here. 1 goal for 2.
Oh, you got over 6.5. Okay.
Yeah. I need one
maybe
goal
they
for
both
2.
Score. That'll be fine. Memphis and Lakers. So, yes, the Lakers have to be favored. It's LeBron. It's everything else. It's AD. They're at home. As long as everybody's playing, yes, they have to be favored. Could not possibly make Memphis a road favorite going into the Lakers, despite the fact that the Lakers are playing the worst basketball they played all season. There's no question they're in a terrible stretch. But the numbers coming down. All right. Any 4s and 4.5s that were there are gone. It's 3.5s. In Vegas, too, when it moves like that, I mean, that's significant because the Lakers are, until Vegas gets our own team, that's the team. They always bet the Lakers. So You want Memphis in a spot?
Yep.
Mm.
I do, but
I'll be
I didn't
watching
bet it.
in-game.
I
I'll be
looked
watching it
I looked
in-game.
at it heavy. I was like, give me a break. Like, come on. I get over a possession for Memphis,
Right.
but the problem is I went and looked at it. The problem is it's really hard to trust Memphis right now. They got the pop when Ja came back, but that like adrenaline rush is gone. And now we have a little bit of a problem with Memphis. They aren't playing very well. So
No.
I'm a little, that's why I kind of pumped the brakes on backing them, because I was like, man, the Lakers stink right now, but Memphis on the road, they're 8-10 on the road, and they've lost 4 of 5. Hard to back them.
Oh,
In the first game, they lost the game 134-107, but that was with Ja not being there.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Just got a text from the wife. We got a big date night tonight, 7:15.
Ooh, good.
Pretty excited.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Have to
go.
go have a nice meal. I'm going to tell her, can we keep an eye on the Pistons and the Golden State game while we're – how do you think that's going to go
3-31. 3-31. Detroit Pistons.
It's only 10.5. Did you see last night the Warriors lose a game when Jokic hits a buzzer beater bank shot from 39 feet? They lose by 3.
And what did the line
about that game yesterday?
What the line close?
3.5.
It was 3, I thought. Oh, that's a horrible way to lose. That's a horrible hook to lose on.
That's
horrible.
No good. You got a shot
that's
to go to
horrible.
overtime. Yep. But no, this is one of those situations, right, where you're looking at Golden State and you're going, all right, they got to cover somebody. They have to blow somebody out. This is Detroit Pistons on a road trip. A lot of miles. They finally stopped that streak, okay, but like they're going to get waxed tonight, right? This is one of those ones where I think it's one of those plays. You would think, right?
Sixers didn't score for the last 3 minutes of the third quarter, by the way. It's 93-76 heading to the fourth quarter.
Oh, no, it's back to 10.5.
Yeah, that was a bit of a problematic end of the quarter.
That's why Frankie didn't say anything. Frankie got real quiet in the background. He was just sitting there watching that defensive stalwart defense by the Knicks. Oh, okay. Yeah,
that wasn't great. And now we'll see what the. I think Embiid's got 28 and 8 on 10 of 20 shooting. So we'll see what they do with him. Does he start the fourth quarter? Do they punt the game? What do they look to do here? They're not out of it, but down by 17 going in. They won that quarter by 3 points. They only scored 21 points in the third quarter for the Sixers. 21 points. That's remarkable. 18 points. The Knicks went 34, 41, 18 in the third quarter.
And extended the lead? They didn't extend the lead.
No. They only got cut into it by 3 points because the Knicks were shooting. What did I say they were at the break shooting behind the arc? They were 13 of
20.
13 of 20.
13 out of 20. Yeah.
They're now 1 for their last 10. To give you an idea.
So the handicap was right. We just didn't get no help from the Sixers.
Yep.
That was perfect. That we nailed it.
They went right down. I mean, they're 19 of 20 from the foul line on top of that. So they're in 16 of 21 for the Sixers. So the Sixers are down 3 points at the foul line, and they're down 24 points from behind the arc. There's your game right there.
Let's stop talking about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Toronto, Sacramento, you said is boring. I don't find that boring at all. This is Sacktown's time to shine.
I guess
the
so.
computer there says
62%.
62%.
I don't mind it.
That's a lot. Sacramento.
I don't mind it. I mean,
4.
look, 12-6 at home, straight up. The Kings, 5-11. The Raptors on the road. I'm not interested in this Raptors team. Like they're not. I mean, they've won 3 of 5, but
they do
3 of 4.
For you.
Nothing for me. The Kings have won 3 out of 4. Double overtime win at home against the Orlando Magic in their last game. They lost to Charlotte at home in the game before that, but on their road trip, they won their final 2 games against Atlanta and against Memphis on the road. I like Sacramento a lot. I don't like Toronto, so it's sort of a boring game. I'm not a very big fan of Toronto.
Trying to talk to the boys and JPC and all the rest of the Detroit crew watching us live. Hoping I get a title shot tonight. Listen, it might happen. I don't know.
Okay. I don't need to know these things.
I'm just saying. I don't know. It depends how
I'm going to see you both in the morning tomorrow. I don't. What?
We got little kids. Kendall's got a volleyball game, so we'll discuss what time we're gonna start and finish out the season strong for the proxy service. We'll let you know later tonight. Listen, we got to address the fact that the Jets are playing the Patriots on Sunday. Cam Stewart's coming up. He dumpster dives, trash cans, terrible games. Are you going to sit here and tell me that the Patriots are going to win this game easily?
Not easily. They're going to win the game. They don't beat anybody easily. But Bill Belichick's not going out a loser to the New York Jets. Bill Belichick is not losing his last Patriot game to the New York Jets. Remember, he left New York to become the Patriot coach. Cam next here on InGame Live on a Friday night.
It looked like it was going in. It hit the upright and bounced out and did not go in. There's more scoring in an MLS soccer game than there is this Cotton Bowl. The Chargers didn't know what the hell to do with Staley for years. They're a clown show in chief. Denver's got this issue, Gabe. Like, the Chiefs must just be sitting there going, wow, what a bunch of brain trust we work with in this division.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now, we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I
favorite.
don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Who are you taking? Well, especially if you know that maybe Kuzma could get moved. Tyus Jones is a free agent. To me, I'm taking Detroit with Cade, with Ivy, with Doran, and then obviously Ashore Thompson, and also because of Monty Williams, I know he's a better coach than that.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Yay, congratulations, but the game was over at that point, so another one of those terrible beats. If you had 3.5, 4, even 4.5, this was a 10-point game until the final closing seconds.
InGame Live, PrimeTime, only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
In-game live on a Friday night, Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault. It's time to welcome in Cam Stewart for his weekly chat with us on Friday night. Cam, good to see you. Lots of good things to get into. We got hockey, basketball, and obviously a big slate of NFL football coming up. We can even touch on the national championship game if you would like. How are you starting this Friday night?
Hey, you guys are the hosts. You tell me where you want to go. I'll go anywhere. I'm sweating out a couple golf matchups, Matt. Golf season has begun at the Tournament of Champions. The Century, as Dave knows, we hit the gala 45-1 last week. 20 gets us 900. Rolling it into the matchup bets today, 8-4-1. One match I am tied pending into 18 right now. Can't wait it. Hey, congratulations, Team USA, on winning the World Junior Hockey Championships. Fantastic stuff. We talked about this. I'm a Canadian. I said, don't bet Canada. It's USA or Sweden. It's actually funny. Those two teams met in the final, and the USA gets it done. This under-18 program is absolutely fantastic. Good things to come in the future. Didn't really help that we had Connor Bedard and Adam Fantilli not playing in the tournament, but I will say this. Congrats. Kudos where you get it, guys. Good pick on USA. I'm surprised they won 6-2. Sweden was at home to beat down a very, very good team like that. That's a fantastic performance by the American team, guys. So, yeah, hockey right now. We talked about this, Matt, with Washington. They had a 2-0 lead. I don't know what it is with the Devils, but do these guys love starting slow? And then they just kind of grind out games and like either win in the third period, overtime, or a shootout. It's like they, other than the other night, they usually go down a couple and you just kind of click them when they're down because they always seem to come back. They don't really have great goaltending, but they have great snipers on their team. And bad news for all you Chicago fans out there and guys with props. Connor Bedard leaving the game for Chicago after taking a big hit. So we'll see about his situation. I know a lot of people points over, goals, the stuff. I don't think it's that serious, but he did have to leave the game. That's concerning for one of the best young players in the league, if not the best.
Yeah. It hurt my over, too, because I was on the over 4-2 final there. An empty net goal for the Devils, so they get that. They win it 4-2 after being down 2-1. They score 3 straight goals in the third period and come back and take that W there. So that's good for the Devils. Okay, tomorrow we got 2 games to get into, Cam, and the Steelers and the Ravens. Dave is a Steeler guy, and I feel like he simply is doing this because he doesn't want to believe his team's going to win and make the playoffs. He likes the Ravens to either cover or potentially even win the game outright here. I can't see this. I mean, he likes +4. He got 4. Yeah. I think if the Steelers win, the Steelers cover. You on the Ravens too?
A little bit, but here's how the way we're going to play this game. I'm not going to be screwing around. I do have 4. I do think the Steelers will find a way to win between 1 and 4. I don't think the Ravens are going to roll over for these guys, but you know what? Know how I'm going to attack this game, guys? Points. I don't care about the weather. I know one thing. Baltimore's not playing their starters. Pittsburgh's going to score in Baltimore, even with Huntley. That total's too low at 34.5. Over for me. I'll take the dog, and I'm going to tease the dog to the over. In the second game, I've already bet Houston. I don't know if I love it, but I'm a little bit worried about it. But Stroud, it's on artificial carpet in Indianapolis. I love Gardner Minshew. One of my favorite guys. Is a true grinder, a guy I always cheer for. But I just think Houston's defense is better. I know the Colts are getting some reinforcements back, but I bet Houston. Basically, guys, this is what you do, though. I would say this, Matt. I know you don't want to do crossover teasers, but Dave, if you had the 3.5, 4, I'd take Ravens like 10.5 and Colts. I think that both games are going to be pretty close. I would tease both. I love that.
That's right. I said to Dave. Yeah. I actually, I mean, because I'm a masochist, I want to do this. I'm going to tease both dogs and take money line and both favorites.
No, I'm a masochist too, because that's exactly the plan. That's a masochist. That's just us being us. No, I like Matt. That's like just what we do. Buddy, I'm sweating out golf matchup bets. Like it's the first freaking 2 days of golf. I got like 72 bets going. Like, dude, this is like people are like, man, are you nuts? I go, no. This is like to your morning coffee and workout is to me waking up betting on golf. I go for my little walk around the track, and then I sit on the bench and I go, I make some notes. Dave, I do it old school on paper as the seniors look at me, kind of giving me the thumbs up. You know, I got my little pad out. I look at the odds. I go line movement. I come back home. Don't really have a database, Matt. I just go ding, 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 ding. And I go, oh my God, I got 13 golf matchups today. We haven't even hit the NHL or NBA or NCAA board yet. But that's the way we like to. It's not like I'm going like 500 a matchup, 50, 100. We have a good time. And we roll monies into monies. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. I agree with you, Matt. I think Houston will win. I think Pittsburgh will squeak out a win. I'd probably tease the dogs, and I think both favorites win, even though what's Houston? 1.5. So a small favorite in the Texans.
Matt has called this game the most interesting game of the week on Sunday.
Which one?
I don't know
I
if
said the
people
year.
will
I said the
agree
season.
or
Season.
disagree. Not a
Year.
He said of the season. I didn't want to repeat it. Let's just say
It is.
week 18.
Okay.
It's not Buffalo, Miami, which we'll get to in a second. It's not even the Seahawks and the Cardinals. It's the Packers hosting the Bears, Cam. And he said it's. Well, tell him. Tell him how you feel.
I think you know how I feel because Perrault's he's a Friday guy. Sharapan's kind of a daily guy, so he gets a little bit of a little bear paw a couple days in the week before I give him the full claw. I'm on Chicago, Matt. I couldn't give a rat's ass about the Packers beating these guys since I had long hair. I told Dave partying in the school roof with the custodians at my high school, just giving her, drinking beers. I don't care. I love what the Bears are doing. I love this team right now. I love their defense. It's improved. I love the fact that they've backed Fields. I think Fields is better than the quarterbacks in the draft. I think he'll be fine once he stops these interceptions. His legs are just so good. And this team, you know what? They're starting to build something. And I think it's ridiculous to get rid of a young quarterback and just say, you know what? Let's start again. You know what the problem is? Too many teams start again. Look what the Raiders do with coaches. Let's start again. Let's start again. No, how about you keep Versace, or this time you maybe keep Antonio Pierce and try to do something instead of just pissing money away and acting like idiots. I'm taking the Bears +3. I'm going to sprinkle on the money line. Maybe it's personal. One of my best friends, Fast Talk, and Mike, and I know I talk fast, he's a Packer fan. And the Packers, they really pissed me off. A couple times this year I needed them in a big way, and they've let me down. I don't like the Green Bay Packers. I don't know why. I'm just I know a lot of people love that team. I don't like the Packers at all. They're actually one of the teams I hate in the NFL the most. The only times I like the Packers when they beat that Steelers Super Bowl because I Jordy Nelson first touchdown and I won $1,600 and breakdanced in the bar. That was one of my best days of my life. Actually, we won $10,000 that day. That's the only time I've ever liked the Packers. When I'm coming to the Bears, sorry, Green Bay, nothing against the people. I love playing. I love partying in Vegas with anybody with a Wisconsin windbreaker or whatever. I'm there. I'm your guy because I know we're drinking beers together and I know we're partying together. But it's Bears for me. It's Bears, 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 and more Bears and Cubs.
I'm not knocking the Bears bet at all. The reason why I think it's so interesting is because the entire draft is hinging on this game. Because if the Packers go and beat the Bears again, then I think you are going to restart the apple cart, everything. And that first pick for Chicago becomes a quarterback, which changes the entire 2, 3, 4 dynamic of the draft.
Mistake. I think it's a big mistake.
I agree. So if you're right and the Bears go up there and win, they're going to give Justin Fields a $300 million contract and probably trade the first pick and trade down and go ahead and take maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. or somebody like that to build around Justin Fields, which obviously impacts the ability for where a team like a quarterback, like my team, the Patriots, where the top quarterbacks wind up going. So it's just, I call it the most interesting game because the next 4 months of the NFL are basically hinging on what's going to happen between the Packers and the Bears based on what the Packers do to the Bears or vice versa. So Matt, I'm not betting the game. I'm just watching it.
My boy Nathan Rourke from down the street's going to be the savior of the Patriots once he gets a chance to play. Trust me. I know this sounds insane as a third-string quarterback. If you give this guy a chance, I'm going to tell you he's going to blow your mind. He'll be the best backup in the league, maybe a starter. I'm telling you. I know this sounds nuts. I've watched this guy play in the Canadian Football League. I'm telling you. I know people are like, oh, CFL, whatever. No, he's good. And you know what? Sometimes life, it's about intangibles. You might not have all the statistics like everybody else, but I can tell you one thing, he's a damn winner, a winner. And that's what the New England Patriots need. He can also move a little bit with his feet. He's great in coverages. I'm going to say, this guy's a third-string quarterback right now. I'm talking to him like he's going to win the Heisman. Anyway, I'm just going to tell you, that was a great move by you guys picking him off the waiver wire. That's all I'm going to say.
All right,
put
the board up there.
Let's get to the board, please. Talking about winning, you got me all excited. Put the Cam's best bets up there. We only got a couple minutes.
This guy's like, you're talking about a guy we picked up on waivers like he's going to be a starter? Maybe.
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
Let's go. We're taking Frank Falcon in the that's first dumpster pick number 1. Frank Falcon, he's flying with me this week. Dave, were we not on the Saints last week? Yes, we were. And we won that game big time. The Saints always seem to be dogs, though. But we're going to go with the Bears, as I said before. Bears, Matt, if we're me, you, and Dave are GMs, we move down, we trade the pick, and we try to get as much as we can. I agree. Another receiver would help. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings. This one I'm a little bit worried about. I don't know what Dan Campbell's MO is. All I know is Detroit's made the playoffs, and I think it's too many points. With Nick Mullins, I actually like Minnesota. They should have won the last time when Hawkinson got hurt in that game. Giants, let's end it strong. against the Eagles, who are falling apart. I like the Bills to beat the Dolphins. Also, I have a couple totals for you guys. I'll tell you how you feel. I'm not, you know me, 12 bowls a total. I usually don't eat total, but I'm a sides guy. I like the over in Seattle. Oh, yeah, we'll go 49ers and Rams under 41.5. Who the hell's scoring here? Prince Harry, Carson Wentz, and all these other guys we got going on. Who we got here? Darnold? They're 41.5. It's low, but I can't see points there. I'm going to take the over in Seattle, Arizona. Bam, bam, bam. Points, points, points. Dave, we talked about this one. This game's got 30-28 written all over it. It's going to be a massive shootout. And I'm going, keep digging, real under with the Chargers and the Chiefs. Yep. A punt fest. 17-14 final for somebody. Don't know who. Don't know who. That's it.
Wow, that's interesting. I don't hate that at all because the Chiefs aren't scoring on anybody. And they're not playing.
On and you're like, this guy's an absolute. What the hell's Cam talking about? And then at the end, I've almost like sold you on my product. I'm like,
yeah, no, Swift. I mean that under. You know? Dave loves the over. I think he sold me on the first over. I think I think both of you guys are onto something with that bet. The Cardinals Seahawks game.
That game is going to be a shootout, I think. I can't see the Cardinals stopping Seattle and vice versa. It's just going to be like, I can see like a 30-28, 31-30. Like I see a wild game.
Picking a side in the Chiefs and Chargers is really, really hard. Okay.
It's impossible.
But this is a game where business decisions are being made. The Chiefs don't want to even tackle anybody, let alone do anything to get hurt. They're going to run, punt.
I think the Chargers win now, Dave.
Punt.
The more I
and the Chargers are going to do the same thing.
Though. He did, Cam. I sure as heck thought you were coming in with the under on the Patriots and the Jets. I thought you were going to go for the ultimate.
I think it actually might be crazy scoring in that game. I did a teaser. Jets over 23. 8.5, 23. You got to give me 23. Come on, man. What, are you stupid? Can we get 23 points?
But can the Jets cover 8? Can the Jets cover 8.5?
That's a question that we're going to have to find out Sunday afternoon. I can tell you one thing. I think the Patriots might win by like 3. It's a good line,
right?
Don't you think?
Right.
Like,
just a money line bet.
Patriots pretty safe.
Belichick's not losing to the Jets.
No,
Belichick's not losing to the Jets.
You're right.
Last game in New England, Belichick's not losing to the New York Jets.
Raptors plus 4.5 tonight. Not a homer bet. Since the trade with the Knicks, they've been on fire. Give me the Raptors plus 4.5 plus 160 money line versus the Jekyll and Hyde Sacramento Kings.
Did you like that trade?
I love that trade. You know how good Quickly is? This is great. The Raptors are the same player. Like, I'm telling you, the Knicks will be happy. It's a trade for both teams, but I'm telling you, right now, as of now, Barrett Quickly, we win. OG's a good player and all, but the Raptors won that deal. Trust me. Me and Gabe talked about it.
I saw it. And I was like, wow.
They're jacked right now. They're playing good. Since the trade, you've seen the way they've been playing. Very good basketball.
Yeah.
I'll take them again.
All right, Cam, thank you so much. We'll see you at top of the hour here with Sports Rage going on here on SportsGrid.
Matt, usually you agree with my dumpster. I'm a little bit hurt right now.
I like it.
Perplexed.
I was surprised. We'll wrap on Friday next here on SportsGrid.
It looked like it was going in. It hit the upright and bounced out and did not go in. There's more scoring in an MLS soccer game than there is this Cotton Bowl. The Chargers didn't know what the hell to do with Staley for years. They're a clown show in chief. Denver's got this issue, Gabe. Like, the Chiefs must just be sitting there going, wow, what a bunch of brain trust we work with in this division.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now he's a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I
favorite.
don't care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Who are you taking? Well, especially if you know that maybe Kuzma could get moved. Tyus Jones is a free agent. To me, I'm taking Detroit with Cade, with Ivy, with Doran, and then obviously Ashore Thompson, and also because of Monty Williams, I know he's a better coach than that.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Yay, congratulations, but the game was over at that point, so another one of those terrible beats. If you had 3.5, 4, even 4.5, this was a 10-point game until the final closing seconds.
InGame Live, PrimeTime. Only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
In-game live on a Friday night. Last couple of minutes with Dave Sharapan and myself, Matt Perrault here. Thank you for being in the chat. It was a lot of fun to have you guys there. Cam was wonderful. It was fun to get him on. You can catch him top of the hour with Gabe Morency for Sports Rage here. All right, before we wrap, Sixers got housed.
Smoked.
Good call, Frankie.
During one of the commercial
Moneyline
breaks,
Knicks.
I looked down and I went, uh-oh. I laid 12.5. So I actually middled myself if it would have fallen in the middle at 10 or 11 or 12. But I laid 12.5 with the Knicks. It's up to 30.5 right now. Complete blowout.
I can't. I need 2 rebounds.
Oh,
I need 2 rebounds.
I don't think you're going to get it. I don't think.
I was afraid of that just going into the quarter. I was afraid of it going. If it turns, they're going to bench him if it turns into a rout. He got to 10, so we got his double. And then yanked.
Right.
See you later. Pulled him out. He got
right. Yeah.
He got what he needed to get the double, and then that was good. And on his way out for Joel Embiid. So not a good night on the props. But if Purdue covers, this is what's really kind of funny. When you bet a lot of plays, Purdue covers, it's a winning night for me. So I've had UConn, I had the Celtics, I had the Pacers, and then I'll have Purdue. So I wound up going 4-3 on the night. So and even with the 2 prop bets coming in. Yeah, So I need Purdue to come in, so I get Purdue to cover, and Purdue's up big at the break, so up on that. So favorite bet for the weekend is what, Dave?
Division winner, NFL. We'll be talking about Monday. NFC South. Is it?
I'll just run through them all. It's Cowboys, Tampa, Niners, Packers,
Lions.
Right? No, Lions. Sorry, Lions.
Won the division.
Yeah, Lions.
They already won.
Packers, but Packers will win the game, and Packers are going to the playoffs. And then Bills, Chiefs.
Ravens already won. Chiefs are already
Ravens.
in.
And
who's the AFC South? Texans, Colts,
Houston,
Jacksonville.
Texans.
Oh,
Texans.
Jacksonville out.
Bye.
Pittsburgh in.
Sorry.
Pittsburgh in the play.
Titans.
Pittsburgh in the
Win the
playoffs?
game outright. Titans outright. Pittsburgh in. Steelers make it. Steelers win. He's Dave. I'm Matt. Talk to you next week here on SportsGrid.